Well, hello everybody, and good morning. It's morning here. So, continuing on my concrete cleaning, flat surface cleaner odyssey here, I wasn't happy with the results I was getting from my new flat surface cleaner, and I thought changing the tips might help. So that's what I'm going to do here today, and then there'll be a little product demo. I'm pretty pleased with the way this came out. There are some negatives, I think, but all in all, I think this was a good move. So this is my old cleaner, and I knew that it worked pretty well. So I decided what I'd do is I'd get the nozzles out of this cleaner and put in the new one and see if that was a little bit better. The first thing I discovered is, man, these things are jammed in there pretty tight. But I just kind of, as you can see, I just worked easy with it. Tried not to over torque it to strip the threads on these nozzles. And slowly it started to work loose. So I think it may have been slightly rusted in there. Plus, of course, this is a high pressure fitting, so it's probably good to keep these things in there relatively tight. Not thread stripping tight, but relatively tight. So after I got those, here's the new surface cleaner, the Edou. And I really like this, as I said in my other videos. I like the wheels, and it's so easy to push this around. I just want it, but I want it, well, it needs to work, right? So now I'm going to take the same thing here. I'm going to take the nozzles out of my new one, and the idea is just to take the old nozzles and put in the new one. And these are, well, mostly standard sized fittings, so they fit okay. I guess some bigger pressure washers will have larger nozzles, but these small consumer sizes are going to be interchangeable. And I might mention here too, I think the real problem is my pressure washer isn't powerful enough. I'm using an electric pressure washer with 2 gallons per minute, and I don't think it's got enough power to push these nozzles. I didn't find any code numbers on those nozzles, but I suspect that they're a 25-degree angle, which is pretty relatively wide for a pressure washer, and that's so that you can cover a lot of ground quickly. The old nozzles are 15-degree nozzles, so it's a more focused stream.
Hold on a second, let me.
So this is Teflon tape, and there wasn't any Teflon tape on these nozzles that I removed. I don't know why there wasn't. I'm kind of surprised by that, but I had tape, so I'm just going to put a little on there, and that helps to prevent water from escaping around through the threads. One thing you do need to be careful of when you put Teflon tape on a fitting like this, you don't want that tape to get in the nozzle. You make sure you keep it back a little bit so that there's no chance of it getting inside the nozzle and clogging the nozzle. Okay, well, just pretty straightforward here. Just get it started, and if you're doing this, you don't want to cross thread these. Just go easy with it. You should feel the threads catch in the fittings, or you should feel those threads catch. And once you've got it straight, just bring it on down. And of course, again, don't tighten it too tight. Just relatively tight. I don't know how to really tell you what that is. I mean, I'm not going to torque wrench these down like I did on the airplane. Speed through this video just a little bit here. Get them all in there, get them tight and down, and then we're going to go out on the driveway and test it or compare it to what I did last week. So I have sections on the driveway where, I pressure washed it and I wasn't happy. So I'm just going to go out there and try that. Now, so you can see the section there on the left, it's a little bit lighter color. So the pressure washer did work. The new pressure washer did work. It just, I didn't feel like that was as clean as I would like it to be. So, well, let me speed through this just a little bit. I'm going to wet that down just a little bit so you can see the contrast on the concrete a little better, and just go for it. And just a little spoiler alert here, that concrete came a lot cleaner. You can see in just that shot right there how much more grime is coming up off that concrete. So getting those nozzles focused a little tighter made a difference with that little electric pressure washer I'm using. It's got good pressure, it just doesn't have enough water power to push those big nozzles. Now just go ahead and clean through there, and I'll give you some an after shot here. And get down. Now you can see that the concrete's a lot cleaner. I personally think it really should work still better, but I'm not going to replace the pressure washer. It's working just fine. Well, we'll see. Maybe I'll replace it. We'll see. I don't want to go to gasoline, but anyway, here you can see the difference, just showing you the kind of that's where I stopped. I stopped cleaning there at that crack. So you can see that it did make a considerable difference. Let me get this, let me stammer around a little bit. Just showing you the concrete results. You can see that line, hopefully you can see that line across there. On the left is with the new nozzles, and on the right is the old nozzles. That's all that concrete is wet. So so it should be the same, but I think you can clearly see that the new nozzle made a difference. And now on the bottom of the screen, you can see what the concrete looked like 2 weeks ago. So over the course of 2 weeks and a couple of passes, I've got it considerably cleaner. Now coming back, I finished that section off, and now I think you can really see the difference the nozzles made. Down in the bottom, towards the top of the screen, that is, you can see what I started with 2 weeks ago, and what a difference that makes. I mean, I just love clean concrete myself. So, and by the way, that's a crack I did 6 months ago. Crack repair I did 6 months ago. I've got a separate video on that. That sealer is still holding up really well. So, I guess the bottom line here is if your pressure washer isn't doing a good job and it's because you're underpowered, you might try changing those nozzles. And you can just Google it for nozzle size. The last 2 digits on the code is the angle. So get like a 15-degree nozzle, and perhaps that will help. It's not a big investment to just give it a try. Well, that's all, everyone. Thank you for watching. I hope this has been some use to you, and hope figuring out how to make your cleaner work a little better.